Buongiorno and welcome to another exciting edition of Meet Your Neighbor. My name is Ron Falconi. I live here in the city of Brunswick. Yes, Brunswick, one of the top 10 towns in America for families according to Family Circle magazine. I live here in Brunswick with my family in the Fairways subdivision, and I had this idea back in the fall of 2006 to invite local politicians and local business people and basically your neighbors down here to the studio so you can meet your neighbor. We have a very special guest today. He is a candidate for Brunswick Hills Township Trustee, and his name is David Goodyear. Mr. Goodyear, welcome to the studios today, sir.
Thank you, Ron.
How are you today?
Doing pretty good.
Dave, can you tell us something about yourself?
Well, I live on the family farm where I was raised.
Okay.
And we have a petting farm. We have different farm functions. We've got all the traditional farm animals and birds for the kids to see that come in.
And this farm, what's the name of the farm?
Spring Mist Farms.
That's on Pearl Road, isn't it, sir?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering, how long have you lived there at
I was raised there, sir.
You're born and raised there. Okay.
Graduate of Brunswick High School.
Oh.
56.
That's 56.
56.
Do you have any family that live in the area?
Yeah. I'm married. I've got
Okay.
my wife Lee,
Okay.
and then I've got my two sons. My son and his wife. My son Howard, he's 33, and he and his wife Abby live on the farm.
Okay.
And then my wife and I have a daughter who lives in Columbus, but that's out of the area as such. She and her husband live down there.
Okay.
And then I've got an 8-year-old son, Dakota,
Okay.
that goes over to Kidder School
Okay.
and enjoys living on the farm.
That's great. Well, Dave, what are some of the things that you like to do for fun?
Well, for fun, I really like to see the people coming into the business.
Sure.
We've got a Halloween doings. We have a Christmas doings for little kids.
Okay.
We're open to the public in the summertime. We have field trips to come in, schools come in. We've got a traveling farm on the road. We've got pony rides.
Wow.
We've got a wedding carriage service. We have quite a few things in that manner, and that's all. To me, that's fun.
That's fantastic. Dave, how did you get involved with politics? I know you're a former Brunswick Hills trustee.
Well, in the politics, I just figured after all the years of doing other things in the community that I think I have something to offer our people, and that's what I try to do. I'm interested in working for the community.
Okay.
And I've just been involved in it for so long.
Okay. Dave, in the past, I've had a county commissioner come on the show. I've had a person who was running for Brunswick School Board on the show, and they kind of explained what their jobs were. We did have. I remember I did have a Brunswick Hills trustee come in a couple of years ago. Can you refresh the memory of people who are watching right now in Brunswick Hills? What does a Brunswick Hills trustee do?
Well, excuse me. A trustee, of which there are 3
Okay.
elected people to actually run the town. They oversee the money.
Okay.
They oversee the roads, the fire, the police departments. They take care of everything from the cemeteries. They basically are the fathers, as such, of the particular township.
Okay. Okay. Dave, why do you want to be trustee again?
Well, like I said, I think I can still offer the community something. There's several things that I would really like to work towards again,
Okay.
or to continue moving forward with what we've been doing over the many years.
Sure.
And I just would like to get back in and work on those items.
Okay. What are some of the more important issues do you see that are facing Brunswick Hills right now?
Well, one thing in the safety forces, we had a survey taken several years ago where we need a couple more fire stations and do away with the one to better serve the people. You've got to get to that scene, that emergency, in 4.5 minutes. And to have a fire station that is out of that boundary area, that's not the safest.
Okay.
And fire stations are the things I'd like to get. We need the 2 more, and then if we were successful by having the people back that, of course, it's their choice. You work for them. Why, I would like to see the present fire station number 1 become a real town hall.
Okay.
Instead of just one little meeting room downstairs and the zoning inspector stuck in one little office and the fiscal officer stuck in one little room. I would like to work towards getting the weather sirens back in service with the city.
Okay.
I believe that cooperation with the city is a necessity. Our community is made up of the 2 political subdivisions, the way I see it, and the way we're all intertwined together. We've got to work towards that. I would like to see a real good plan to expand the service garage area.
Okay.
So there's quite a few things that I would like to see get done in that manner.
Dave, what are the top 3 things that you would like to do if you're going to win in November of 2009?
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to work towards those fire stations.
Okay.
With the fire department.
Okay.
I am going to attempt, because it takes a majority, of course, and there's 3 of you. I'm going to attempt to deal with the problems that we have with the weather sirens.
Okay.
Attempt to straighten that around for the betterment of the whole community. And once again, the service garage. These are 3 of the big things.
Okay.
The police department, they're pretty well moving forward at this point. I am not sure yet, with the police chief only being there a few months, what her plans are. So I really can't say much on expanding that department at the present time, because I don't know.
Sure.
And if you don't know something, best to keep your mouth shut.
Dave, what role, if any, does regionalism play in township politics?
Well, the role that would play, if there was to be a regional push, would have to be to listen to all the plans, to make sure before they vote in any particular way, it's what their people want. I don't like bigger government myself.
I agree.
I like the smaller form. Yes, there are things that you could do better and cheaper, but in so many cases, the bigger the government gets, or in any size, I've got to be fair. In any size, you can always have people in charge of things that don't have a clue of what's going on. And I've seen this. And, the bigger you get, the more that I would be concerned.
Sure. Dave, for every guest that I have invited here on Meet Your Neighbor, I like to play a game of fill in the blank, okay?
You okay, sir?
Dave, when I was a child, I blank.
I love doing things with my brothers and sisters. I really never minded doing the chores, when I got old enough to do that stuff.
Okay.
Family parties were always great.
That's good.
I don't know what more to tell you, Ron.
The person that I admire most is blank.
Well, I'm not sure what the correct English is, but it would be was. My parents.
Okay.
Mom and Dad were always active in our church. Although Dad had a tool and die shop besides running the farm,
Sure.
He still found time to back the things going on in the community. They were both on the original and the executive board of the Brunswick Youth Club back in the 50s and 60s.
Okay.
And in fact, that's why we remodeled our old cattle barn.
Okay.
And Goodyear's big barn was for the youth of the community. Back then, we'd have the dances up in the old town hall. And then in 1960, my mom and dad remodeled the cattle barn at that point, and we moved the youth club down to the town hall where we'd have 300. We've been up to 300 kids a night down there every Friday and Saturday night. And it was all just donated, and they gave a lot. I'd working out in the field, I'd be working in the shop, whatever, and an alarm came in for the fire department, and I'd take off, and Dad was always, he never said a word about me going other than get moving. Well, they're the ones that, Mom took in foster kids. At one time, she was licensed for the, I think there was up to 6 babies at one time.
Wow.
Right out of the hospital, 3 days old until they went to their adoptive homes. That was back in the, I don't know, 60s or 70s.
Wow.
My mom and dad have taken in other kids as foster kids for periods of time. They were always close to the church. It was. Sure. I was really lucky compared to what a lot of people have had in their life.
Yes. Dave, the one place I want to travel to is blank.
I don't care to travel, Ron. I should shoot that question down. My favorite travels were when I was working, going to work.
Okay.
Of course, in rush hour, why, that was, people would say I'm crazy, but maybe I am. I trained fire departments for 40 years for the state part-time.
Okay.
My travel would be going to the fire stations to teach. My travels were going to the fire station to work. And I never really got any thrill out of going. I've gone to places. Out to the Great Circus Parade again this year. We went up in Milwaukee, and
Okay.
I've gone down to the Carolinas to see my sisters and nieces and nephews and relatives. But as far as what I think your question is, as far as travel to go somewhere, if I would just want to see more of our country.
Sure.
There's so many beautiful things, so many great things in our country. I have no desire to travel around the world. I just stay in Brunswick.
When I retire, I blank.
I am retired. 6 years, 3 months,
Wow.
and 10 days, 12 days,
Yeah, but-
whatever the day is today.
Yeah, but
I just enjoy the work around the farm with the kids.
okay.
Because we have so many things going, and just to go out and do the chores. Of course, I'm not going out and, I don't harness up the horses myself anymore as such. But the fun of being around with not only my kids but thousands of others that come through this.
Sure.
And so what do I want to do when I retire? I have retired from my profession. Retire for the farm. Why then, the local funeral home will get me, I guess.
Dave, do you have any neighborly advice to people who are watching right now, especially those who are watching in Brunswick Hills?
Well, neighborly advice, it probably would be the best to take time to get to know people, do your best to help people, cut out the whining and crying because things don't go exactly your way the minute that something goes wrong.
Sure.
Have more tolerance for people. It's all the idea of what we all were, or many of us were most of us were brought up with.
Yes.
Take care of your neighbor the best you can. I don't know what more to say, Ron. It's I don't want to start preaching, but by caring for other people, do the job you're given, and your reward comes. Come up to the farm and watch the kids. It could be your reward. I don't know what else to tell you, sir.
Dave Goodyear, candidate for Brunswick Hills Trustee. Thank you for coming down to the studios today.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you.
My name is Ron Falconi. I am the host of Meet Your Neighbor. Wanted to thank Mr. David Goodyear for coming down to the studios today. I doubt there's anything more profound to be said, so I'll just say goodbye and arrivederci, everybody.